Hi, this is Steffi and welcome to the FinancialFox. Today on the show I have invited amazing women, female readers in the fintech space to discuss women power and the state of the crypto industry. Let me introduce you to Sophia Shluger, Chief Commercial Officer at PV01. She's the former Managing Director for Europe at Amber Group. Before we get into the show, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button now and follow us on social media to stay up to date with our news and interviews. Greengage provides e-money accounts for small and medium-sized enterprises, high net worth investors and digital assets firms. They leverage the latest technologies, including blockchain, to unlock new funding and liquidity, a game-changing for many SMEs, which are fundamentally underserved by traditional financial services. As a client of Greengage, you will have a dedicated relationship manager, yes, a real person who will listen. And getting started with Greengage is easy. Trust me, I've gone through the process myself and it's been really simple and quick. So, if you are seeking a more personalized experience in managing your accounts in the digital space, I genuinely encourage you to check out Greengage. And here is a little bonus for you, my wonderful listeners. Use the code FOX10 when signing up to enjoy a 10% on the first year's fee on corporate accounts only. The link is in the description, so take a moment to explore what Greengage has to offer. Now, back to the show. Hi, Sophia, how are you?
Hi, Stefania, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's really great to have you on. So, do you maybe want to start introducing yourself and what you do in the fintech and crypto sphere?
Sure. So my name is Sophia Shluger, and I'm currently the Chief Commercial Officer of PV01. PV01's mission is to build and operate a debt capital market on which a healthy digital asset ecosystem can thrive. So basically what that means is we bring institutional grade, low risk yields to the global on-chain economy. And that manifests in terms of, tokenizing fixed income securities. In terms of my background, I've been working in the crypto blockchain industry since 2021, kind of a late addition, but I have over 15 years of traditional finance experience. I started my career at Goldman Sachs in New York, and I've worked both on the private and the public side across different asset classes, everything from FX to institutional equity sales to equity derivatives trading, as well as direct lending and private debt. So I've been able to see both sides of the capital markets, and in my role, I focus on business development and revenue generation. So I work predominantly in client-facing sales capacities.
Brilliant. That's super interesting. I think very interesting the aspect of tokenization, which is a big thing. And also the fact that you, like me, come from the traditional finance space and then at some point got excited about all this innovation happening in the fintech and crypto. So how have you discovered crypto?
It's a great question. I actually came into it fairly serendipitously. And what I mean by that is I had a former hedge fund client of mine in New York introduce me to my former boss at Amber Group, where I was the managing director for Europe for over a year and a half. And so it was through a mutual sort of client connection that I was introduced to Amber Group and learned about what they were trying to achieve in terms of pushing forward frictionless markets. But yes, as you mentioned, tokenization is a very exciting area of development. And I think what's important to recognize is it's not traditional finance or decentralized finance. This is really just a continuation of the digitization of finance and using distributed ledger technology, blockchain, to make efficiency improvements, reduce costs, and remove, non-value added intermediaries. So, tokenization is seen to be estimated to be a $16 trillion market by 2030. That's a significant jump from what it was last year, $310 billion. And essentially what that is tokenizing real world assets, whether they are more liquid or illiquid assets. You can think of art, collectibles, intellectual property, equities, fixed income, etc., and putting them on chain so you have a more transparent, immutable record of transactions. So it's very exciting, and I'm really excited to be working at PV01 and bringing tokenization to the masses.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, sounds very exciting. Now, you are a leader in the fintech space. You are a female leader. And I think there are lots of conversation about women being underrepresented in a male-dominated industry, traditional finance, now crypto and fintech. And do you think that's right to say that women perhaps are not present as men, or they are facing challenges, or they could do more to empower themselves to be at the forefront of the industry?
Yeah, I think it's a great and very valid question. I mean, for me, leadership is about collaboration and inspiring others to do their best work. And I think what's remarkable about our industry in blockchain and crypto is that essentially we have a decentralized ethos, that we believe in financial inclusion. And so the culture of the industry is one that by nature extends itself to everyone who has an interest and passion for this, financial revolution that we are building towards. I think it's also important to realize that crypto and blockchain is really a beautiful marriage of the technology and the financial markets. And so with that comes obviously specialists, professionals, and experts from those different industries, which historically have been more male dominated. I think, in my experience, I've had a very positive one in the industry. And I think that lends itself to the fact that it's still a very small and intimate industry where collaboration is really at the crux of the work we do. We are all working hard to build and solve for different problems so that we can make blockchain technology scalable and value added for all its users. And so I've had a very positive experience. In fact, both of my sort of supervisors in the space have been female, and they both sort of sponsored and championed me to come into my respective roles and organizations. And so that has been very positive. And even working with colleagues who are male, but perhaps have a different skill set, a different area of focus, it's been very collaborative, because I think we recognize that in order for us to achieve what is a difficult thing to achieve, which is really scaling blockchain for the world, we have to come together, use our complementary skill sets, and collaborate as best as possible. So it's been actually a breath of fresh air coming from the traditional financial markets, which I think have a longer dated history of being perhaps less inclusive. But I think that really comes down to the type of organization that you work for and the culture that they have.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now, moving the conversation to what you think is going to be the main driver for mass adoption of crypto, and what is going to be the bigger inhibitor and why?
Yeah, I mean, it's a question that we all get asked quite often. What I will say is obviously regulatory clarity is at the forefront of that. It's understanding, best standards of practice, being able to develop and build businesses and solutions that are in line with the law. And I think that really comes from policymakers trying to get up to speed on what we're achieving and being able to put out, policies that are clear and distinct so that we can follow them and we can help develop them such that everyone benefits from the technology. I think education is also another part of it. I think a lot of individuals still don't understand the benefits of blockchain and what cryptocurrencies are. I think a lot of them think of it as an asset class, which is correct in itself. But there's also another way to think about digital assets as payment methods, as vehicles to diversify risk, to diversify investments. So there's many different use cases, and I think as we continue to develop and build, that will come to the forefront. And it would be great to see more women make the transition from the traditional technology sector into the blockchain and crypto sphere, because I think we're short of the amount of women that we really could have in the industry. And, there's a lot of data that shows that the more diversity and inclusion you have in an organization and industry, the better the results are. I read somewhere that each woman that's added to the C-suite leads 3 more women to be promoted up to senior leadership. And yet, in the UK, I think only a quarter of C-level positions are filled by women. So there is somewhat of a gap. And the question is, how do we fill that? I think, historically, promotion and recruitment has been challenged in terms of diversity opportunities. But, in my personal experience, as I was mentioning, I've had a very good experience in crypto and blockchain, and I've had a lot of male bosses over the years who have been very supportive of the work that I've done. I think the issue is really on getting the right people into the industry and ensuring that we retain talent so that they can continue to develop and lead organizations. So maybe not the answer to your question, but I wanted to make sure to add that because I think it's really important for us to look at the data and see that the data shows that having diverse leadership is very important, not just for organizations, but for the industry as a whole.
I think this is a great point, and also is exactly what you said. Getting into the C-suite, get at a position that is a leading position that sometimes women, they don't look at, or they are not there, they are not in the top part. They kind of like confine whatever is business development, marketing, or PR, and that's where, or law, for example, but they are not going to more like a decisional level, and that's why there is a gap. But I think from my perspective, I think women need to be more courageous, and instead of like looking there are challenges that we need to overcome, is more about like we are all human beings, we all can do it. And, just be more courageous, come out and, do what you're good at. And, don't feel that you have to prove yourself all the time, because that's not true. Don't feel there is a ceiling, right? There is a ceiling if you feel there is a ceiling.
Yeah. It's interesting. There was a 2019 Harvard Business Review study that actually revealed women scored higher in 17 out of 19 traits than men when it came in terms of what's desirable to be a leader. And that's everything from taking initiative, inspiring a team, motivating others, and resilience. And so, like I said, there's data out there showing that, women and candidates of diverse backgrounds have these skills and traits that inherently are beneficial to organizations. So I think, again, it's important to find the right organization, make sure you're in an industry where women are valued, where you have mentorship opportunities. In crypto and blockchain, there are a lot of women's leadership groups, and it is a very collaborative industry. So I couldn't ask for a better place to be professionally at the moment.
Fantastic. Listen, last question. What the government can do to support the growth of crypto?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think it goes back to regulatory clarity. It's really about actively engaging with the builders in the blockchain ecosystem. It's about putting forth clarity on their policy moves. It's about understanding what we're building and why we're building it. And so, it's about engagement. Because I think the only way forward is to come together and understand the opportunities, and then be able to set policies that reward and incentivize businesses to build the right solutions for the future. And I'm very excited to see more governments and organizations roll out CBDCs and other initiatives to continue to help support the blockchain industry.
That's great. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
That was really good. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.